Hey guys, welcome back to Philip Draws Comics. I'm Philip. That's my hand you see on the screen right now, drawing the picture in front of you. And today we're drawing Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Specifically, we're taking this picture of Wolverine, one of those $700 action figures with 1,000 points of articulation, and we're using that as our basis for the drawing today. And we're going to convert this Wolverine into Piccolo. Bit of overlap in those two characters. They both have that sort of loner samurai type archetype. What's more, they've also shared voice actors. The first Piccolo voice actor for the Pioneer dub in the mid-90s would go on to voice Wolverine, and I think it was X-Men Evolution. I myself am a pretty big fan of the original 90s voice cast for Dragon Ball Z and the original Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball only had 13 episodes that aired in America before they went ahead and switched and just started doing Dragon Ball Z instead. But the same voice actors carried over, so Kid Goku ended up doing Gohan, and Bulma did Bulma, etc., etc. The problem with those dubs is that they were heavily edited for television, for American TV, specifically American kids TV. And not only was it softened to make it more palatable to a younger American audience, but they kind of, in the 90s, would do this weird thing where they would just take the anime and use it like raw material and sometimes just completely write their own stories or plot lines or what have you, almost like a writing prompt. So that era of DBZ translation is wildly inaccurate. Even though I do enjoy those voice actors, I think the best version of all worlds would have been if you... there's 3 movies they released at that time. It was the first 3 Dragon Ball Z movies. What they call Dead Zone, World's Strongest, and Tree of Might. And if you can find those, specifically the original, I think it was Pioneer who released them, if you can find them on DVD on eBay, those are actually, for whatever reason, when they did the translations for the movies, they actually went with really accurate translations and used the original Japanese music, which the syndicated cartoon show didn't use. They're really, really faithful adaptations, and for my money, when you go back and you try to watch like the Funimation version, it sounds like they're copying. They're trying to copy the Pioneer, the Ocean guys, but it feels like they don't have enough spirit. I think the fact that Funimation has redubbed Dragon Ball Z 3 or 4 times now yields diminishing returns. The actors are more skilled now, but they're also like they've been doing these lines over and over again, especially if you count like recreating them for video games over the years, that I think you get sort of sometimes dull, more listless readings. But those original Ocean dubs are very energetic. I find they hold my attention more than the modern day quote unquote perfected Funimation dub of the series. Had kind of an itch of late to watch all of Dragon Ball Z, the whole franchise, basically. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, and I've read the manga cover to cover. Whenever anyone wants to have a conversation about what is canon and what isn't, I fall squarely on the side of, if it ain't in the manga, it ain't canon, you know. But because of that, I realized I haven't actually seen all of the episodes of all the various animes for the Dragon Ball franchise, even though I do own them. So I've got this idea of just, starting. I went to Kanzenshu, the website. It's one of probably the best Dragon Ball fan site on the internet, and went through and looked at air date order for all the episodes, and then release order for all the movies, and put them in with the release order for the episodes. So for episodes, movies, and specials, and created like a sort of a master list of how to watch Dragon Ball, the franchise, in the order it was released in Japan. And that's one of those things where I spent a lot of time and energy putting that together, and then like now it's ready to enact, and now it's just sitting there. It hasn't been watched yet, but I think coming here soon, I may start watching those episodes, and if nothing else, it'll give me a nice little prompt for things to draw. I can draw, scenes or characters from an episode, and then talk to you about watching the Dragon Ball franchise in Japanese release order, and paying attention to things like filler and what have you. So stay tuned if that sounds like something that might be interesting to you. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time.